Did you know that the first man to prove that Earth wasn't the center of the universe was punished for telling the truth? Galileo Galilei was born in Pisa, Italy in 1564, the same city famous for its Leaning Tower. However, Galileo's mind remained steadfast and resolute in an era of intellectual repression. As a young man, he studied medicine at the University of Pisa, but soon his interest shifted to mathematics and the cosmos. He built his telescopes and turned them toward the stars, a revolutionary act at the time. In 1610, Galileo discovered 4 moons orbiting Jupiter, which we now refer to as the Galilean moons. This was undeniable evidence. Not everything orbited Earth. The implication was clear. The Sun, not Earth, was the center of our solar system. This directly challenged the geocentric model endorsed by the Catholic Church, which considered Earth the immovable center of God's creation. Galileo published his findings, supported the heliocentric theory proposed by Copernicus, and became a scientific celebrity, but also a threat to church orthodoxy. In 1633, the Roman Inquisition summoned him. Under immense pressure, he was forced to recant his beliefs publicly. The man who had shown the world new truths was condemned to house arrest for the rest of his life. He spent his final years in isolation, going blind, unable to look through his telescope again. He died in 1642, but his ideas lived on, inspiring future generations of scientists. Galileo didn't just observe the stars, he challenged religious power with science and paid the price. He built the most powerful weapon in history, and then spent the rest of his life trying to control the monster he had helped unleash. J. Robert Oppenheimer was born in 1904 in New York City, into a wealthy German-Jewish family. A brilliant physicist, he earned his PhD at just 23 and became a leading voice in quantum mechanics. During World War II, he was appointed scientific director of the Manhattan Project, which was a top-secret government initiative to develop the atomic bomb before Nazi Germany could. In July 1945, the first nuclear test, codenamed Trinity, was detonated in New Mexico. Upon witnessing the explosion, Oppenheimer recalled a line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." The bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki brought the war to an end, but, they killed over 200,000 people. After the war, Oppenheimer grew deeply troubled. He spoke out against further development of nuclear weapons and, he opposed the creation of the hydrogen bomb. In the Red Scare climate of the 1950s, his past associations with communists and his dissent made him a target. In 1954, a public hearing revoked his security clearance. The man once hailed as the father of the atomic bomb was, sadly, humiliated and silenced. He spent his later years teaching and, advocating for international control of nuclear arms. Oppenheimer died of throat cancer in 1967, not as a triumphant war hero, but really as a haunted man. He changed the course of history, and carried the moral weight of it to his grave. History remembers Watson and Crick for discovering the structure of DNA. But do you know whose work actually made their breakthrough possible? Rosalind Franklin was born in London in 1920 into a well-educated Jewish family. A gifted chemist, she specialized in X-ray crystallography. That's a technique to determine molecular structure. At King's College London, Franklin captured the now famous Photo 51, a stunning X-ray image that revealed the double helix shape of DNA. Without her permission, that photo was shared with Watson and Crick. With it, they were able to build their DNA model, which earned them the 1962 Nobel Prize, along with Maurice Wilkins. Franklin's role? Omitted. Despite her immense contributions, she never received credit during her lifetime. She died in 1958 at the young age of 37 from ovarian cancer, possibly caused by radiation exposure from her work. Only decades later did the scientific community begin to recognize her as a key figure in one of biology's greatest discoveries. Today, Rosalind Franklin stands as a symbol of the many women in science whose brilliance was overshadowed by others. Nikola Tesla revolutionized the world, but he died alone, penniless, and honestly, largely forgotten. Born in 1856 in Smiljan, now in Croatia, Tesla showed early brilliance in engineering and electricity. After emigrating to the United States, he briefly worked under Thomas Edison, but, their partnership ended bitterly. Tesla's greatest legacy is alternating current, or AC. a more efficient electrical system than Edison's direct current, or DC. This led to the infamous War of Currents, a public campaign where Edison attempted to discredit AC by electrocuting animals. Despite the smear tactics, Tesla's alternating current system became the global standard. But Tesla wasn't just about electricity. He pioneered wireless energy transmission, radio communication, radar, and remote controls, all before their time. Sadly, Tesla was a poor businessman. While others made fortunes from his ideas, he lived in obscurity, spending his final years feeding pigeons and working on fantastical projects. In 1943, he died alone in a New York hotel room. Today, he's celebrated as one of the most visionary inventors ever. Tesla reminds us that sometimes genius isn't recognized until long after its time has passed. He helped feed the world, and also helped poison it. Fritz Haber was born in 1868 in Breslau, Prussia, which is now Wrocław, Poland. He was a German chemist who developed the Haber-Bosch process. That's a method to synthesize ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen. This made mass production of fertilizer possible and really transformed global agriculture. Today, nearly half of the world's food supply actually depends on this process. But during World War I, Haber turned to chemical warfare. He developed deadly chlorine gas, which was used in trench battles and caused mass casualties. His wife, Clara Immerwahr, who was also a chemist, was horrified by his work. After he oversaw the first gas attack, she took his military pistol and ended her life. Despite all this, Haber remained a national hero in Germany and was awarded the 1918 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, ironically for his contributions to agriculture. In the 1930s, as the Nazi regime rose, Haber, being Jewish, was forced into exile. He died in a Swiss hotel in 1934, estranged from the nation he once served. Haber's legacy is, well, a paradox. He helped sustain humanity, and also helped destroy it. Even today, his name sparks ethical debate about the dual-use nature of science.